Now, as summer gives way to fall, a new noodle shop is serving up dishes for both seasons. Fat Mao is expanding downtown with some exclusive dishes. And you may recognize Angus An from Nam restaurant. He's also chef and owner at Fat Mao. Angus, hello and welcome back.
Hello, thank you. It's good to be back.
You have been, well, okay, we were talking about Nam last time. Now it's Fat Mao. Why don't we start with the name? Why Fat Mao?
Well, fat sort of runs in the same sound as prosperous, so it's a prosperous cat. We had a story all made up with this lucky cat that was a stray cat that learned how to make noodles in Chinatown, and we had a whole comic draw of it for our menu, so that's sort of the background of the name.
Okay, that's the background of the name. And what did you want to do with this particular menu?
Well, in this concept in particular, I've always been fascinated by the smaller eateries in Southeast Asia. If you're good at something, keep the menu small, and that's all you do. And that's what we wanted to keep focus on in the first Fat Mao as well as the second Fat Mao was just soup noodles, Thai soup noodles that we do really well.
Okay, so where do you start? You even brought your own stove in here.
So I'm going to show you quickly how we're going to do our most popular dish, which is the khao soi chicken.
Okay.
It's a dish from Chiang Mai region. It's a Burmese-influenced curry noodle soup. So all we got to do is I already have the chicken braised in our curry sauce. We're just going to quickly dunk the noodles into hot water.
Okay. Are these special noodles? Are these anyone?
These are wonton noodles.
Store-bought wonton noodles. Okay.
So we're just going to give that about 30 seconds. I mean, this is one of the most popular dishes on the menu, and for the Chinatown as well as downtown. And right now for downtown, we have two specific new items that'll be just for the new location, which I'll talk about in a little bit.
Okay. Get the bowl. Okay, that's not even a minute. Not even a minute in there. Just went.
They're all fresh noodles made for us, so they don't need much time. So I want to make sure we get this going.
Okay, well, this is a perfect dish, though, as we get into the little bit cooler weather, right? Do you find that people they want soup when the temperature goes down a little bit?
Oh, for sure. Like, of all my restaurants, and this is no joke, I tell people all the time, of all the restaurants I have, I eat at Fat Mao the most. Okay. 2 times a week I go there.
Okay.
And it's just, I crave that kind of food. I crave the comfort food. And, soup noodles is what I grew up eating. And it's very comforting and it's already warm. So we're just going to carefully not to splash curry on you. So this is one of the most delicious noodle soups. And it's...
You need, I don't know, do you eat this with chopsticks, with a fork and knife, or what do you do? I mean, you got to get the chicken
all
off
the above.
bone.
And I'm not done yet because we have we have all the garnishes, and this is crispy egg noodles as well.
So sprouts, let's just do it. You've got
bean sprouts, some green onions, some cilantro, and crispy noodles. So when you eat it, you break it in, so you contrast with both fresh.
How do you make the crispy noodles? You put them in the oven for a bit?
They're fried.
Fried noodles.
And then this is pickled mustard greens.
Oh my goodness.
And that's the delicious khao soi.
That is gorgeous. It is just gorgeous. So tell me about the new downtown location. What's going to be different about that?
The new downtown location is the Sheraton Wall Center. And we love it because we're right underneath the Thai Consulate General, which the whole entire office loves us because they come to Fat Mao for the most authentic noodles. And then we have 2 specific items just for that location, which is the Nam Nio, which is also from Chiang Mai region.
Okay, let's look at this. So let's look at these two. They look similar. This one has a more intense red.
It's not spicy despite the red, 'cause that's from the tomatoes.
Okay.
It's a tomato-based broth with pork rib, pork blood, and it's a lighter broth, but it's really, really rich in flavor. I almost feel like it's a rustic flavor. It's really, really nice.
Okay, which one shall I try first?
Why don't you try this one first, the soup,
okay.
And then you can get, this one's a bit richer, so you can try that after. It's got a nice kind of rustic sweetness to it, right?
Oh, that is gorgeous.
That's my new favorite.
And I'm getting the tomato. It's not as common to have the tomato base, is it? Is it?
You can do it without the tomato, you can do the tomato, but we like the tomato add certain depth to the soup.
Okay, now I know the team is going to want to be digging in there, so I'm not going to double dip. I'm not going to double dip. I'm going to try this one now.
And this is the khao soi.
So this is the curry.
Yep. Curry noodle. It's a Burmese influence, and it's also very typical of Chiang Mai.
These are gorgeous, Angus. Like,
Thank
they're
you.
absolutely gorgeous. And I love the idea of the crunch, the different textures that you're going to get as well. So this is not something you have to add extra sauces to either. You've already got a little bit of punch. Everything is all included in there. This is very exciting. So downtown location opens? Opens
now.
Okay.
It's 5 days a week, but starting next week, we'll go 6 days, close only Sundays, starting next week.
Are you really feeling things ramp up downtown now? People coming back to the office, back to work?
We didn't even tell anyone we opened last week as a soft opening, and we've been slammed busy because people are just walking by it. So I'm pretty excited to be downtown, and I think it's a good location for us to open Fat Mao.
No kidding. Tell me about this.
It's my version of a tuna ceviche with blend. It's a sauce of green onions and cilantro, lots of lime. You get a little bit with the here.
Okay, you want to load me up here? This is a taro chip?
Taro chip, that's right. Here, load you up.
Doesn't that look fresh and lovely? I
Yeah,
think I'm gonna wait for the crunch at the end here. But why don't you take me through some of these other dishes? What else have you brought?
This is a mapo tofu. It's sort of my version of something my mom used to make. We steam the tofu in this tin here, so it's like a custard instead of just using regular tofu. And then we basically pour a nice mapo sauce over it. I almost call it sort of like a Chinese bolognese over it. And then you basically scoop it with tofu underneath. And this over here is our new beef noodle for the downtown location. It's a Thai Chinese influence braised brisket, super rich soy sauce.
I have to dip in here too.
Yeah, try it.
This is gorgeous. But do you use all different noodles in all of these different dishes?
So on the menu, they basically come with the recommended noodle, but we do have a selection of noodles here.
Bring them over and just explain, because I mean, it can be a little bit bewildering sometimes when you're when you're shopping.
So when
for this type of thing.
when you're in Thailand in a noodle shop, you get to choose what noodles you like. So this is the small rice noodles, which is the senlik. It's a pho noodle.
Yes.
This is the egg noodle with the wonton noodle that we had in here.
Yes.
This is a Shanghai Y-style noodle, which is really good in some of the soy-based sauces.
Beautiful.
And this is basically vermicelli, which is also really good in the hot and sours and the vermicellis. Sorry, and the soy-based sauces.
Okay.
This is rice sheet. I love this one because it's a tapioca-based, gluten-free.
Okay.
And it's a thin sheet that you get to pull apart, and then when they cook it, they shrink together. So it has a real good texture, contrasted texture from soft to sort of this al dente texture.
A little bit of chewiness, a little bit of body as well. Now you put this, load this up for me.
Give that a try.
Okay, before I take my last bite here, how do you do it? You're not only spread, like you've got 2 Fat Mao locations, you've got Mai Nam, but you've got other restaurants too.
Yeah, we have Longtail in US, we have Sen Pad Thai, as well as Papina in Granville Island.
How do you do it?
You need a good team, and I'm fortunate enough to have a good team. I know a lot of people are struggling for staff. So are we, but we have a really strong staff. Our head chef at Mai Nam, Mike, he's been with us for 12 years. Our head chef at Fat Mao, she's helping us for both locations. She's been with us for 3 years as well. So we try to support our staff and bring them up with us so that we can do stuff like this.
Yeah, but do you find yourself in the middle of the night saying, I know, I've got another great idea?
Yeah, but lately I've been trying to hold back the ideas because,
Good for you. Thank you so much for bringing in such beautiful food, beautiful looking and beautiful tasting. You do our city proud, Angus.
Thank you. It's always a pleasure to be here. Thank you.
Going out on a little bit of crunch, okay? Beautiful. That is beautiful.